We are going to discuss chapter 2 of world history, that is evolution of human. So what do I understand by the term evolution? So evolution is a fundamental concept in biology that refers to the change in the inherited characteristics of biological population over successive generation. It means that evolution brings changes in the genes, the chromosomes, the overall adaptability of a person with respect to the environment over successive generations, right? So it is driven by the mechanisms such as natural selections, genetic drift, mutation, and gene flow. So these are few of the processes through which a person evolves. These processes lead to the gradual modification of species, resulting in number one, diversity, and then the adaptation of organisms with respect to its environment. It means that the purpose behind evolution is that number one is to bring the diversity among different species and population, and the second one is that a person will evolve with respect to the needs of the environment, with respect to the needs of the society. So these are the purposes behind evolution. So the theory, we are familiar that the theory of evolution was given by Charles Darwin in 19th century, and there was another concept that was survival of the fittest. It means that whoever is fit according to the environment will last longer. We have already studied this giraffe example in matric or intermediate. So, what was that example? According to that example, in a population of ancestral species, they were likely very there was likely variations in the neck length among individuals due to genetic differences. So the focus of this theory with respect to this example is on the length of the necks of the giraffe. So as the environment changes, like forests giving way to more open landscape, there was a shift in valuable food resources as well. With tall trees becoming more dominant, animals with longer necks had an advantage in assessing the leaves and falling higher up. So giraffes with longer necks were better able to survive and reproduce because they could reach more food. So this advantage led to them leaving more offsprings with genes for longer necks. So over time, the genes for longer necks become more prevalent in the population because individuals with those traits were more successful in passing them on to the other offsprings as well. So that's why through this process of natural selection, giraffes gradually evolved longer necks to exploit the valuable food in the environment more efficiently, right? So this was a detailed example of the process of evolution. Moving towards evolution of humans. So human evolution is the lengthy process of change by which people originate from ape-like ancestor. So all of the human beings, they are originated from the ape-like ancestors. So what are apes? Who were apes? So apes were the group of primates that include species such as chimpanzees and gorillas. So they are quite like us as a human being, right? So we basically originated from ape-like species that were our ancestors as well. So, what is an ancestor? Ancestors are individuals from whom a person or species is directly descendant. That we are ancestors of ape-like structures. Ape-like, basically, humans evolved through ape-like ancestors. Our ancestors were apes, right? So we evolved from them. So scientific evidence shows that the physical and behavioral traits shared by all people originated from ape-like ancestors and evolved over a period of approximately 6 million years ago. So this is the time duration. Before this time, there was no human being. All living organisms like us were apes. So we are ape-like ancestors. We are similar to those apes which were found 6 million years ago. So earliest defining human traits like bipedalism, the ability to walk on two legs. Bipedalism means bi means two, pedalisms mean to walk on, the ability to walk on two legs. So this characteristics was evolved over 4 million years ago, right? So this was the time duration that humans start walking on their two legs. this is called bipedalism, and this characteristic was evolved over 4 million years ago, right? So, what are the other human characteristics that we have evolved? So, number one is the large and complex brains. So, we have a higher cognitive and thinking processes. Why is it so? Because our brain is large and complex. It involves complex functioning as well. So, ability to make and use tools. We can easily make and use tools as well. We can make different machinery. Different industries are run by a human being, right? So these are due to the complex brain structures of a human being. So capacity for languages, we can learn different languages at the same time. We have the capacity for that. We have S-shaped spine. We have shorter arms and legs as compared to ape-like structures. So they were having equal lengths of arms and legs, but as compared to them, we have shorter arms than our legs. So our lower body supported our upper body as compared to the apes. Their upper and lower body, the weight of the upper and lower body was completely on the spinal cord, right? But our lower body support the upper body. So complex symbolic expressions, art, and elaborate cultural diversity emerged mainly during the last 10,000 years. So these are the changes that a person have as compared to the ape-like structures from which we as human beings are evolved, right? So the process of evolution, what is the process of evolution? So humans are primates. We all are familiar with this, that all the human beings are primates. It means that we belong to the group of chimpanzees and uh, chimpanzees and monkeys. So physical and genetic similarities shows that the modern human species, Homo sapiens, have a very close relationship to another groups of primate species, the apes. So we are familiar with the ape-like ancestors. So humans and the great apes, large apes of Africa, chimpanzees and gorillas too. So we have almost all the characteristics that are similar to those apes, right? Uh, Only a few differences in our thinking patterns, in our other different aspects, like we have discussed earlier, the large and complex brains, ability to make and use tools. These are the things that differentiate us from apes. So they share a common ancestor that lived between 8 and 6 million years ago. Human first evolved in Africa. So first time human evolved in Africa, and much of human evolution occurred on the continent. So, the fossils of early humans who lived between 6 and 2 million years ago come entirely from Africa. So, Africa was the first place ever found that had fossils or remains of human, right? So, in Africa, humans were first discovered. Okay, so this is a picture that how a person evolved from apes till now as a human. So there's a difference in the physical appearance. Like if we see here as a ape, their body weight is entirely on the spine. They use their hands as well as their legs to move, and with the time, according to the time, as humans now, we our lower body holds our upper body, and our entire weight is lifted by our legs. So this is the difference, right? The length, the size of a human being has changed as compared to the apes. So these are the major physical differences that occurred through the process of evolution. So this was all about the processes and the evolutionary processes that basically demanded two types of changes. Number one is diversity, and number two is to best fit the environmental conditions, to best fit the needs of the environment and the society, right? So this was all about this chapter.